Right now, we are about to go over to the Lady Megan Hilton. I'm talking about our parent coach and our psychologist. She is indeed also an author, but she will be here for now and the rest of the month, each and every Sunday morning. She will be embracing the stage with us, and of course, she will be taking us through parenting journey. Don't touch that dial.
Hello there, everyone. I am Counselor Megan Hilton. I'm an associate counseling psychologist, a parent mentor, and the author of the book, Directing Your Arrows, a strategic approach to successful parenting. Best of all, I am a life that has been changed and continues to be transformed by the love of God and the finished work of His Son Jesus. Over the next few weeks, for the month of May, we will be taking a journey together as we discuss how to parent intentionally in this age and in this season. Today, we are laying the foundation by exploring what it means to be an intentional parent and how this approach can positively impact our children. You know, as I am about to start this journey, I can't help but reflect on my childhood. When I was a child, life was about playing and learning as I played. There was a lot of reading because my mother was a teacher, so the whole house was filled with books. And life was also about family and learning to read, getting my schoolwork done, of course, and all the benefits of being raised in a rural Caribbean community. And I'm sure if I have any listeners from the Caribbean, you can identify with that. So my childhood was nice. My childhood was great. My distractions as a child were minimal. I mean, we had television, but the television only had two channels. I had my pets, a dog, and a few cats. That was it. Basically, those were the distractions. And the fact that I enjoyed the outdoors. So there were times when I would just want to be outside, climb an orange tree if I could, pick a few guavas, and just enjoy life. Fast forward to today, and childhood for many of our children is nothing like what I just described, or nothing like what we as adults experienced as children, because life evolves and life changes. Today, the distractions are numerous for our children. The lines of values have been blurred. They are being told it's whatever you like that you must do. And so the negative influences in our world come at them from all angles. They are not as secure as we were. And because these distractions are coming and these negative influences, parents find themselves in what I call a battle for the destinies of their children. This is why we must be intentional in how we parent. The enemy, the devil, is intentional about going after our children. We cannot afford not to be intentional and deliberate in how we carry out our roles as parents. The hope that I hold on to is that when we look in the Bible, there are many men and women of God, who we sometimes refer to as heroes, who also grew in a hostile, depraved environment, but the purpose of God for their lives was not aborted. And I'm sure that every parent who is listening to me today, that's your desire for your child, that the purpose of God for them will not be aborted. And so I'm going to read a section from my book, just a little excerpt, which I think captures where my heart is regarding this topic. Today it appears that many Christians are the most nonchalant about deliberately teaching our children what we believe. Most Christians leave things to chance when it comes to their children and their spiritual walk. We send them to church, hand them over to children's ministry or youth ministry, while we sit back and hope and pray and sometimes even fast that they will grow into passionate, purposeful lovers of God. While we relax, though, the enemy of our souls has orchestrated and intensified his efforts in flooding our children's minds with everything anti-God to make Christianity appear irrelevant and lifeless. He works through the media, the internet, books, friends, and I dare say even some teachers and people of influence. If our children have no value base from home, they are like unarmored civilians in the middle of a fierce and bitter battlefield, exposed and vulnerable. We, therefore, must change our attitude, and we must deliberately empower them for the life that they are engaged in. It is high time to awake and get purposefully active about sowing the right seeds according to the fruit we hope to see in our children and the destiny we believe God has for them. And so today, we really want to just lay the foundation for this journey of intentional parenting. And so I'm going to talk about 5 points quickly. Won't be staying long on each, that I believe can lay the foundation for where we will go over the next couple of weeks. So there are some things we need to understand. The first one is that your child is a gift. And if you are anywhere near to any of your children, I want you to look at that child and remember, just say to yourself, my child is a gift. Psalm 127 verse 3 says, lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. If you are hearing me today and you have brought a child into the world, you have fathered a child, you've mothered a child, even if this child is not your biological offspring, I want you to understand that the child or your children are gifts from the Lord. Now, if I get a gift from a king, if I get a gift from God, I'm going to see that gift as valuable. All right? So that's the first thing you need to understand. There are many persons today who wish they could have children or wish they had the opportunity to pour into a life as a parent, and they have not received that. For you to have been given that opportunity is evidence enough that your child is a gift. And as of today, if you've not been treating that child like a gift, I want you to start to treat that child as a gift. All right? And the source of the gift is important. So the Bible says that the fruit of the womb is a reward from God. Secondly, Parents are stewards of the gifts they receive. So if you have children, the children are your gifts, and you are a steward of those gifts. A steward is someone who is given responsibility for the management of someone else's property. Your children first belong to God, and you are given the task of managing or parenting them. How you handle your gifts will have generational effects, so you must handle with care. This means purposefully and strategically managing your children as treasures, though yet unlocked, but assigned to you by the King, because that is what they are, God's gifts to you. So you're a steward. They belong to God first. I say to persons all the time, your child is a God idea in living color. God doesn't waste time. He doesn't create human beings just for creating sake. Your child has purpose wrapped inside him or her, and God has selected you to manage that gift, to manage the child that he's given you. Don't take it lightly. All right? Do not take it lightly. Now, many times when we hear that, we begin to think, oh my God, this is a big deal. Yes, it's a big deal. And you may be thinking, I can't handle this. I remember the first time I held my daughter, my first child. There was this overwhelming feeling of joy because I had waited and prayed for years, and finally I was holding my baby. It was a moment I can't forget. But mixed with that joy was a feeling of apprehension. Do I have what it takes to give this baby all that she needs to become all that she's meant to become? And so I know that parenting can be a daunting role. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel like it's heavy. And yes, it is not easy. But guess what? Listen to my third point now, people. Parenting is a journey. It's a learning process. It is a journey of discovery. And because of that, I think parenting is exciting. You can talk to 20 parents in one room, and even though they may have experiences that may be a bit similar, you'll never find two parents who have the exact same experience. It's a dynamic journey. It is a journey that every day brings something new with it. And so I don't want you to get overwhelmed, even though the truth is you have a responsibility that I will not make you take lightly. But at the same time, there are too many parents who are working so hard at being the perfect parent that they miss the journey altogether. They are working so hard at getting it right that they miss the journey altogether. I don't want you to miss it. There's a lot of fun in there. There are a lot of memories that are created. You can learn so much from your children, right? And we'll touch on those as we go along. So our third point is that raising children, parenting, is a learning process. So don't be too hard on yourself. You're going to make mistakes because you're not perfect. All right? You are going to not get everything right because you are human. But I want you on your way to the destination of looking at your children and feeling proud of who they have become. On your way to that destination, enjoy the journey. Our fourth point today: know your hindrances to embracing this call to parenting. And I call it a call because I believe that's what it is. I believe that my children are destined to be mine. I was selected to be their mother. They were selected to be my children. And so when you have a child under your care, You are called to it. And I want us to begin to see it that way. But there are some hindrances, some things that can hinder us from fully taking on this role as a parent. And I believe I just want to mention them today quickly. I have 4 that I have highlighted in the book. The first one is feeling incapable, and I touched on that just now. Feeling that you don't have what it takes. And so, as parents, we have to manage our self talk. Self talk is a conversation you have with yourself almost all the time. What are you saying to yourself about yourself as a parent? Okay. Um, Remember, the Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So I want you for the next 7 days to monitor your thoughts. What are you thinking about yourself as a parent? All right? Because if you are having mostly negative thoughts, like I am no good at being a father, or my kids hate me, or I don't have a clue what to do, then it means that you will not be able to fully embrace your role because you don't think you're capable. The second hindrance is busyness, being too busy, trying to get things the way you want them to be so that you have no time for your children. And I'm going to dedicate 1 week just to that, so I won't labor on that. But being too busy can hinder you from embracing your call. Having a wrong focus, only being focused on what society says is success, can cause you not to parent as well as you should. And then I have learned behavior. And I think this is very important. Are you just basically running in autopilot and parenting your children the way you were parented? Many of us do that. Oh, that's how my mommy used to do it. Oh, that's what my grandmother did when I was a child. We have to be deliberate. Because your parents did it doesn't mean that it's right fit for your child. Okay? And so you have to do some reflection this week to see if you're operating the way you do as a parent just based on what you experienced as a child. Your child is unique, and not all the methods that work with you will work with him or her. All right? So we parent our children and we ask God for wisdom. James 1:5 says, if any man needs wisdom, let him ask of God, and he will give it to him. He will not rebuke you for asking. All right? So the 4 hindrances: feeling incapable, being too busy, parenting in autopilot based on how we were raised, and having a wrong focus. So far, we have said we are laying a foundation for the next 5 weeks of intentional parenting. And we said, number 1, your child is a gift from God. Number 2, you're a steward of the gift God has given you. Number 3, parenting is a journey of discovery. It's a learning process, and we should enjoy the journey. Number 4, know your hindrances to embracing your role as a parent. And the last point is affirm yourself. I'm big on affirmations. And why am I big on affirmations? Many times, if we're to sit around and wait for somebody to affirm us, we'll never get it. So we have to learn the art of affirming ourselves. So I want to challenge you to affirm yourself, to say positive statements to yourself about how you are parenting and the kind of parent that you are. Practice saying your affirmation each morning and throughout the day. And at the end of the day, instead of thinking, what have I done wrong? How about thinking, what were my wins today? So I'm going to read 2 affirmations from my book, and I want you to try to create some for yourself this week. I am not perfect, but I love my child and I give my best for his good. I have been chosen by God to parent my child, and I will do well. I have the ability to be a good mother for my child. God is the source of my wisdom and strength as a parent. I embrace my call to parenting, and I will pursue mastery. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I choose to think positive thoughts about myself and about my child. I want to thank you for spending these few minutes with me this week as we lay the foundation for the next few weeks of intentional parenting. Write down in your journal, if you have one, what were your greatest takeaways from today's session? I look forward to continuing this journey next week, same place, same time. And I declare over you that the God of all wisdom will give you all that you need to impact your children and influence generations. God bless you. See you next week.
Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Never let the pestilence harm me. All the try them, I try, dear Lord. Send some angel to come protect me. See the wicked them, I come, dear Lord. Like a mighty army surround me. So wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Never let the pestilence harm me. All the try them, I try, dear Lord. Send some angel to come protect me. See the wicked them, I come, dear Lord. Like a mighty army surround me. So wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Don't be no afraid of no wicked, me no afraid of no guy. Afraid of no devil, me no afraid of no spy. Afraid of no powder, me not tell no lie. Me no afraid of no guy we shoot to bullseye. Put me just in the power of the Almighty. The one the rule and brain in a mouth. Say and I me not fi go up your man knock on a some fight. Demon tell the wind in the morning and wrap your arms around me, Lord. Never let the pestilence harm me. Only try them, I try, dear Lord. Send some angel to come protect me. See the wicked them, I come, the Lord. Like a mighty army surround me. So wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Never let the pestilence harm me. Only try them, I try, dear Lord. Send some angel to come protect me. See the wicked them, I come, the Lord. Like a mighty army surround me. So wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Never let the pestilence harm me. Only try them, I try, dear Lord. Send some angel to come protect me. See the wicked them, I come, the Lord. Like a mighty army surround me. So wrap your arms around me, Lord. Wrap your arms around me, Lord. Nothing can kill purpose. You mad? Nothing can block purpose. You mad? Nothing can stop purpose. You mad? Nothing can blind purpose. You mad? Everybody know. Do so for Jesus. Do so for Jesus. Do so for Jesus. Do so for Jesus. Do so. Nothing can kill purpose. Nothing can block purpose. Nothing can stop purpose. Nothing can blind purpose. Everybody know. Do so for Jesus. Do so for Jesus. Do so for Jesus. Do so.
It's your boy Jerry Kingston, Crystal Ray. Rosie, tell them, girl.
Fight my battles for me, Lord. Come on now, fight my battles for me, Lord. But I will go, Lord, where you lead me. Fight my battles swift, but who can endure this battle? It's not mine, it's the Lord. Come now, Jesus, and fight this for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Everybody sing, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. I will go where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord.
When the walls around me seem to be caving in, you said, my child, don't you worry, just be still. So I get on my knees and pray to you to make a way. Give me victory, God. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Let the world be where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah.
Fight my battles for me, Lord.
Say,
Fight my battles for me, Lord.
Lord Jesus,
I will go, Lord,
don't worry
where you lead
where you lead me.
Fight my battles for
Oh
me.
Lord,
Fight my battles for
oh
me.
Lord.
Fight my battles for me, Lord. We are to fight, be brave against all evil. Never, never run or even look behind. For us to win with the Lord on our side. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Everybody say yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Lord, I need you.
I will worry where you lead me.
Fight my battles.
Oh,
Fight my battles.
fight my battles.
Fight my battles.
Fight my battles.
Fight my battles. In the noonday. Fight my battles. In the midnight hour. In the middle of the storm. Who am I back against the wall? Fight my battles.
Send you the best. Confuse the enemy.
Lord, I need you, I need you. I need you, I need you.
We are halfway in our beautiful morning segment right here on Unity Live Radio, but still some more to come. Don't go anywhere, you're locked in with Lady Tracey. Don't touch that dial.
When you send me up, when you send me up, boss in a God. When you send me up, boss in a God, oh, boss in a God, oh, boss in a God, oh. Set me free from my jailer, set me free from my pain, set me free from all of the hurt, all of the shame. You're the giver of salvation, you're the giver of light. You are the truth, the resurrection, and the life. So when you see me, me a boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord, the boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord. God alone, I'm a shield, I'm a king. Me a boss about thing. Me a boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord, the boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord. God alone, I'm a source, everything. Me a boss about thing. Yeah, me a boss in a God, but not about material things. Cause everything on earth will fade away. I sing and keep my hallelujah and my praise rising to He who is everlasting. Yeah, me a boss in a God. Yeah, I'm proud with it. Nah, keep no secret, stand up in a crowd with it. All the glory, all the honor, yeah, Him get it. All the blessing them in my life, yeah, Him set it. The reason I'm a winner's cause the Savior's by my side. I thank God I am forgiven. I've been saved and sanctified through the tests and through the trials. All the times I could have died, I will brag, I will show off because of you, God. So when you see me, me a boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord, the boss in the Lord, boss in the Lord. God alone, I'm a shield, I'm a king. see me, me, yeah.
Boss in a God.
Protect me from my enemy, yeah.
Boss in a
I
God.
got alone to carry me, yeah.
Boss in a God. Boss in a God. Boss in a
So
God.
when you see me, me, yeah.
Boss in a God.
Protect me from my enemy, yeah.
Boss in a
I got alone to
God.
carry me, yeah.
Boss in a God. Boss in a God. So when you see me, me a boss in a the Lord. Boss in a the Lord. Do the boss in a the Lord. Boss in a the Lord.
God alone, I'm a shield, I'm a king. I'm a boss about him,
Me a boss in a the Lord. Boss in a the Lord. Do the boss in a the Lord. Boss in a the Lord.
God alone, I'm a everything's on me, a boss about him.
Yeah, my boss it. Yeah, my boss it. Fi me God alone get the trophy. Yeah, my boss it. Hey. Yeah, my boss it. Watch out, my boss it. Fi me God alone get the trophy. I feel me blessing on the boss it.
So our radio interview, my people, as you know, we're in our youth month and we are here with beautiful lineups of authors, entrepreneurs, and of course, let's see what else. So we have a lovely lady today. She is indeed out of USA and she's here with her beautiful book to share. But before we go any further, we want to welcome her and hear for ourselves. Crystal Buslow, welcome to the Lady Tracey Show. How are you doing today?
Thank you for that warm welcome, Miss Tracey. I'm doing well. What about yourself?
I am fine, thank you. And of course, we want to know a little bit about who Crystal Buslow is. So can you tell our listeners who you are?
I am an essential worker. I work for the post office. I am a business owner. I'm a mother of two lovely boys, a wife, and a self-published children's book author.
Perfect. All right. Now, what made you choose writing in the first place? Because I noticed you've been a recent author, and we just want to know a little bit about why you chose writing.
Well, it's a funny story, actually. I've always been a servant to the community, and I've always did mentorships. I would read to elementary students when I was younger. I would coach, do after-school programs, and that's just a passion and a love that I had for a young age. I during the pandemic decided to write the book as a motivator for my children. To give them some light. The book was actually from a nickname that my husband gave to the children when they were toddlers. It was Cherry, Larry, Jerry, those type of things. It was just rhyming songs, and the kids would always laugh. And as the children grew up, so did the Cherry Larry's phrase. So instead of saying stop whining, we would say, we don't want to be cryberries. Mm-hmm. Or if we were illustrating right from wrong, we would say, we don't want to be bad berries, that type of thing. And I knew, during and what the world is today, that our family wasn't the only one going through what we were going through. So I wanted to kind of shed light and be a motivator and, encourage kids to ignite the super within. That's kind of why I made them superheroes. And our family has always been an advocate for children's literacy. So I do always have super words, I like to say, inside of the book. And that's why the characters are fruits and vegetables too. My husband, before he went to the service, he was actually a personal trainer. So, we like to promote healthy on the inside and out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Crystal. Now let's get to the book. What's the name of the book? And tell us about the idea of the book, as in what's the book about?
The Cherry Larry's versus Poison Berry is the name of the first book. And the book is about two brothers who has a mentor that they look up to. He kind of took them under his wing. He's a scientist. And he starts to do some things that, were kind of wrong, and they, kids know right from wrong. And the things that he was doing, it was potentially putting other people in harm. And so they had a choice to make. Do they sit there and, go with the flow to try to appease who their mentor is, someone they look up to, or do they do the right thing and, follow their heart and stand up for what they believe in?
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love the cover where you have these two guys, well, three of them, and the little one in the middle as if he's making fun of them. It's so funny. It's like you want to jump on this book and read it. But tell us about the illustrator. Who is the illustrator behind this beautiful work that you have with all these awesome illustrations?
The illustrator is Art Mawini. He's actually done work for Disney, Nickelodeon, Pixar. He's done Rugrats, Sonic. He's been around for a while, and he's awesome. I love him. Our relationship is so awesome. He gets out the vision, I guess, that I'm trying to put out there.
Beautiful.
And it's something that I wanted to do. And if I figured if I'm going to do it, I want to do it wholeheartedly.
Right.
And,
Definitely. To the best of your ability. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And you're so right, because I think that especially with children, you have to be very creative, and for you to get the best man for the job, I think it was worth it. And I believe that your book will be a very good impact on many, because you use your family's testimony as the inspiration behind it. And we just want to thank you for that, Mrs. Bustle. Now let's get to the price of this beautiful work. If persons want to purchase it, what's the cost, and where can we find you for this book?
The cost of a hardcover book is $17.99. On my website, I'll sell it for $15. The soft cover, which is the paperback version, is $9.99. You can find that on my website as well. And on Amazon, my website is buspubpresents.com. And if you guys do enjoy the book and are aligned with our movement, I would, ask you guys to kind of follow us on social media. You can find us at Cherry Larry Adventures.
Awesome. Cherry Larry Adventures. Perfect. Now, one last thing before you go. Who do you want to acknowledge for all this beautiful work that you have been doing within the past few years?
I would like to acknowledge my family as my motivator and inspiration. All the kids out there who are super readers, of course, my illustrator, you for allowing me to be on your show.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job. All right. We want to hear it and we want to see it. And maybe later on, you can even turn this beautiful work into a movie because of how impacting and how catchy your illustrations are. So shout outs to you guys over there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our very own book author. She was here to share her lovely work with you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bustle. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day, and we're looking forward to hear some more of you in the coming future.
Thank you, Miss Tracey. You as well.
All right.
Are you looking for a place to stay when you are in Jamaica? Well, look no more. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz.
Come along, and make we have some nice time tonight.
It's the place that offers somewhere to stay with a difference. You wake up in the morning with the smell of our Jamaican style breakfast. Single occupancy, $65, double $85, and 3 people, just $110. Call us today, 416-301-2698, 1-877-997-6589, 1-876-840-5144,
or visit our website ultimatefreedombnb.com or email us at ultimatefreedomjamaica@gmail.com. It's the Ultimate Freedom Bed and Breakfast, Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz, Jamaica. It's the place that customers come first.
Come along, slow and easy.
Hallelujah. I confess without you, Jesus, I am nothing at all. That's why I come to you and beg you a spiritual overall.
Me hit the floor again, I beg you more again.
Break us, Lord. Need to feel your presence more.
Me desperate.
Of that I am sure. Positive. Me cry more. Jesus, me desperate. More anointing me come forget, yeah. Me cry more. Lord Jesus, me desperate. Soul in the desolate. Whoa. Lord, anoint me till me pass out and I know myself. Then fill me till me speak in tongues and can't control myself. More of you in me, oh God, I beg you, slaughter yourself. Lord, without you I am nothing, so I come for help. Rock me knees, them inna the spirit knees, to touch the floor. Then bust the pipe, them inna me eye and make the water pour. Lord, take away impurity, me want me thoughts secure. Move away my emotions, cut the
Jesus, me want more. Jesus, me desperate. Nah, Jesus, oh me want more. Jesus, me desperate. Me day in the desolate. Lord, me call you Mr. Fix because you know just what to do. Even when my cup run over, Lord, me still want more of you. Every day, every word that you say, I'll obey. So me without you now, my life I can't imagine it. Although me falter and me fall and me inadequate, you're the boss for me, I know I'm your subordinate. I'm poised for victory cause with you my lead by aggregate.
Me want more. Hey, Jesus, me desperate. Why? Me soul in the desolate. Whoa, me want more. Oh God, me desperate. Me soul in the desolate. And more anointing, me don't forget. Boy, but to take me in your hands because I'm pliable. Oh, I call on you every time because you're reliable. Take me high up in the spirit cause I'm flyable. Lord, my body and my spirit got some discrepancy. So me invite you in my life, Lord, just stop and see. Want be all you with my eyes, your glory so fancy. Not only in my dreams, when me
Lord, I need more.
Hallelujah.
Jesus, be desperate. Me stay up on my knees and I pray. Lord, I need more. Jesus, be desperate. Me day in the desolate. God, I need more. God, I need more. God, I need more.
Yo, Prophet Blood against them demon. Was 76, I when me born in 99, me get saved. God put me in the light, but me the darker than the cave. The mercies of God make me not there in the grave. Yeah, yeah. Follow me now. Cause this a God people sitting. Rebuke Satan with the word it's written. Crush the serpent till it scream out like kitten. At the head we go for next and make sure it's split. Put on the armor God and make sure it fit. We synonymous to God like Big Ben and Britain. So you know act like a strike the demon them miss. Them running pa me King James version where you glisten. The blood of Jesus them pants them bin. Run out again with we Bible. Point it and clap it man a radical disciple. No it now stick the 66 reliable. Soul man a win we no come here so fi idle. So turn it on the devil and say Bible, Bible, Bible. Give the legion the Bible, Bible, Bible. Bleed the blood make them stifle, stifle, stifle. And the Bible we an axe on a rifle. This a for the real God people and the radical massive. When no say we warfare no pretty and passive. Weapon no corner like gun and lasses. Blind to the war put on your spiritual glasses. No fasting and prayers and Holy Ghost classes. Urge me better than grandmother beaters and molasses. We are the remnant fi God know the masses. So self and fi dead dust to dust ash to ash. So we run out again with the Bible. Take it and clap it man a radical disciple. Genesis to Revelation 66 reliable. Soul man a win we no come here so fi idle. So turn it on the devil and say Bible, Bible, Bible. Give the legion the Bible, Bible, Bible. Bleed the blood make them stifle, stifle, stifle. And the Bible we an axe on a rifle. And we say woe to the scribes and hypocrite. Praise the Lord man a Christian we no iffy. Me sold off his seal so you half and skip it. Fi see the secular get safe, yes I wish it. Yo, tell me if you're ready, come me ready long time. Be the blood lick Lucifer rebuke and bind. We come fi kill this try steal the youths them mind. I'm going tackle on in at the punchline. Yo, step out with the blood of me Bible. Point it and clap it man a radical disciple. No it now stick the 66 reliable. Soul man a win we no come here so fi idle. So turn it on the devil and say Bible, Bible, Bible. Give the legion the Bible, Bible, Bible. Bleed the blood make them stifle, stifle, stifle. And the Bible we an axe on a rifle. And this a God people sitting. Rebuke Satan with the word it's written. Crush the serpent till it scream out like kitten. At the head we go for next and make sure it's split. Put on the armor God and make sure it fit. We synonymous to God like Big Ben and Britain. So you know act like a strike the demon them miss. Them running pa me King James version where you glisten. The blood of Jesus them pants them be.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting guest today, and I'm talking about our lovely book author. She is also a sailor and an entertainer over there in New York, USA. She is indeed here today to share with you a bit about the untold histories, from our book, the things that I am sure no one else knows. So you are a privilege today to be with us and to hear the Lady Elsie Tang. So we welcome you, Lady Elsie Tang. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me as your guest, Miss Lady Tracey.
It is a pleasure. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are?
Okay, well, Lindsay Tang is the character in my book. And I was born an artist and blessed with many gifts, which includes painting, playing musical instruments, working in the film industry. And as an artist, I brought my passion into the cruise industry, which gave me the opportunity to take courage to the side of the shore. And working in the entertainment department in the cruise industry over the many years turned me into a hardcore sailor, as it opened doors for me to discover how removing inhibitions and fear of the unknown can lead to a whole world of possibilities and adventures. And with my life experiences on land and at sea, I was able to pen my story into this book titled The Untold Tales of a Sailor at Sea, which has enabled me to add the title author to my repertoire.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I've read your book and I am excited about what I saw. And I also want to ask quickly about chapter 1. When you started out, it was really an excited but questioning journey for you. And I noticed that, you were so excited about the new path that you took. But can you just tell us a little bit about your experience when you just started out as a crew member?
Well, starting as a crew member was filled with excitement, as you said, but I had no idea what to expect other than my experience as a passenger. Because I sailed as a passenger for a number of years before I decided to join in the industry as a crew member. It was a wonderful experience until I came across some challenges that I discussed in chapter 1.
Okay.
And it continues to be Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. So why did you write your book? And who are your target?
Well, I wrote this book so that people have a better understanding of the cruise industry and the life of a crew member, and to have a clear picture of what happens on the cruise ship. My story is meant to give a crew member a voice and to have their story heard. My book is also meant to encourage the cruise industry to make some changes to improve the life of a working crew member by addressing challenges discussed in my book, such to include working hours, quality food, and discrimination. So the targeted audience is anybody who's interested in traveling, the cruise industry, and the crew member.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lindsay. What advice do you give to persons who are interested in working on a cruise ship based on your experience?
Well, I believe that life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, and some are exciting. But if you never turn the page, you'll never know what the next chapter has in store for you. So if one has a passion and desire, go chase your dream. If your desire is to work in the cruise industry, by all means go for it and give it all you have and aim to complete the entire contract and resolve to learn something from that experience. I say forge ahead with resilience and an attitude to complete the contract with courage despite all the challenges of the cruise industry. My challenges I outline are depicted in the chapters throughout the book. And if you are interested in working in the cruise industry, then I say read this book, as it provides a glimpse into the life of a crew member and the entire industry.
Wow, beautiful. While reading, I was just so moved by your how you quoted your chapters and how you really break it down for persons to understand your experience on a normal base. And I applaud you for that. And I also will recommend any and everybody to this book, because I was reading and I too have been in the entertainment industry. And when I read it, I could relate personally to the things that you experienced, and I would say it is really worth reading. But on your personal level, what is life like on the cruise ship, and what is it like to transition back and forth from a life on land and a life at sea over your past years?
Well, life on a cruise ship is filled with opportunities and adventures, but it's also hard work, regardless of what department you work in. But I always say, if you love what you do, then it's not work. I was blessed to have the opportunity to work in various roles in the cruise industry over the years, and to also start off as a passenger first and then transition into a crew member has taught me to appreciate absolutely everything about the cruise industry. And transitioning back and forth from a life on land and a life at sea is a challenge, but I wholeheartedly embraced it, because over the years, I stayed working at sea with short-term contracts entertaining, and then returned home on land to work also entertaining and teaching. So I embraced the life of juggling two identities and two lifestyles, because it gave me a sense of excitement and joy every day. And even when I'm working on land, I enjoyed escaping back to the cruise industry as a sailing passenger. I would take a vacation cruise and then weeks later join another cruise line to work. And this blessed me with the opportunity to visit over 140 ports of call and to see over 60 countries.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Wow, this is a lot of experience and a lot of countries to see. I wanted to ask you which country was your favorite, but I'm not at the place to ask that right now due to the time given. But when cruising, resumes, where are some places you would like to visit?
My next big cruise as a passenger would be to circumnavigate all of Africa. I have seen a bit of Africa, but there's a lot of places I still want to see that are also landlocked countries where cruise ships cannot dock, such as Switzerland, Bolivia, Paraguay. But I also want to visit the Middle East and the Galapagos Islands.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Such an exciting journey. Such an exciting job, I would say. Now, lastly, Lindsay, where is your book available if persons want to purchase it? And how do listeners get in touch with you?
Well, my book is available right now on multiple platforms around the world. It's available on Amazon and YouBuy, which serves over 50 countries. And if in the United States, it's available with the vendors Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million. In Canada, the vendor Chapters Indigo's and Cole's bookstores. Australia and New Zealand, the vendors Booktopia, Dymox, Boomerang Books. Basically, any bookstore is able to order the book for you. And listeners can get in touch with me through my webpage, authorlctang.com, also available on goodreads.com. And you can also find me on Facebook under l.c.tang.
Okay, so there you have it, listeners. The Lady Lindsay Tang for you. Thank you so much, Miss Tang. You've been a great guest. And of course, we are excited about your book. I am excited. I will be reading your book all year. So thank you so much for being with us on the Lady Tracey Show. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day and continue to do the great job that you're doing out there for all our listeners and all our crew members throughout the world.
Thank you very much, Miss Lady Tracey.
All right. Watch this when you walk from dusk till dawn. Don't you see that Sahara and Corona gone? Why don't you go to Script of Virtue and order yourself a book? Get yourself a journal, no man. Or even get a book for your children. Their number is 876-367-7413. Or you can go to their business site at scriptofvirtue.business.site. Shaman.
Want to learn to play music with a revolutionary musical experience? K-Don Music Academy offers online and face-to-face lessons for piano, guitar, drum set, violin, viola, cello, voice, saxophone, trumpet, flute, and music theory. Call 876-442-2721. That's 876-442-2721. Visit our Facebook page at K-Don Music Academy and follow us on Instagram at K-Don Music Academy 1. Experience the power of music. K-Don, K-Don Music Academy. Register now.
You're the wind beneath my wings. Sweet Jesus, you're my melody and harmony. Sweet Jesus, you're the eyes that I see through. Sweet Jesus, yes, I'm dancing to your tune. For as the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you, forever and ever, yes. This heart beats for you, as the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you, forever and ever, yes. This heart beats for you. Something more than gold, I've got something more than gold. Something more than gold, I've got something more than gold. If all I've got is Jesus, I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world, Jesus is more than gold. More than gold, more than gold. I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to this world, Jesus is more than gold. It's such an honor that you call me your own. Your love is unchangeable, keeps something more than gold. My brother, my sister, Jesus is more than gold. More than riches, you are everything to me. Oh God, more than life, you're more than gold. As the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you. Forever and ever, yes, this heart beats for you. As the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you. My soul longs for you. This heart beats for you.
We are back with our radio interview, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Lady Tracey Show. And we have a special guest out of Dallas, Texas. This gentleman is a founder and a business owner of The Right Perspective LLC. He is also a graduate of University of Texas at Dallas with a bachelor in speech language pathology and child development. I'm talking about the man Aaron Fields. Mr. Fields is here with us today, and we want to hear a little bit about his work and also the inspiration behind this beautiful book that he has going on viral, Never Doubt Yourself. So welcome, Mr. Fields. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I greatly appreciate you inviting me on. It's definitely an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. How is Texas going?
It's not too bad, but I'm sure you kind of hear the old saying about the Texas weather. You know, 1 minute it's snowing, and then the next day it's bright and sunny, and then the very next day it's raining and it's cloudy. So when it comes to Texas, you really never know what you're going to get.
Are you serious? I didn't know there was snow in Texas. Thank you for that information. I did not know. All right. So now let's hear about Mr. Fields. Who is Aaron Fields?
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's a really good question. I'm not really a big proponent on really saying much about myself, but usually, really to sum it all up, I usually just kind of start off by telling a little bit about myself when it comes to understanding myself. Of course, I reside in Dallas, Texas, but I definitely grew up in a place called Baytown, which is a little bit south of Houston. And really just growing up as a kid, always moving back and forth. My family and I were going back and forth from Dallas to Houston. Of course, when it comes to staying with family and things like that. But after a while, it got to the point where we moved so many times, we all decided as a family, okay, we've moved several times back and forth from Dallas to Baytown. Let's just go ahead and just pick one city we can just stay in for quite a bit of time. And we eventually just decided to stick with Dallas. And of course, during my 8th grade year of Dallas, that was where I finished up middle school, and I went to high school as well. And once I finished up high school, it ultimately led to college. But when it comes to myself and my family, I tell people all the time I'm very blessed and extremely fortunate to grow up with the family that I was born into. Of course, having both a wonderful mother and a wonderful father, and just growing up in a 2-parent household, which is something you don't see very often, unfortunately. So I consider myself very blessed and lucky for that part. And then also, just to make things more interesting, I was very fortunate to grow up with grandparents, as well as my nana, my grandfathers on both sides of the family. And then also, to make things even more interesting, I was very fortunate to have an older brother by the name of Norman. And then, of course, there's myself as the middle child, and very fortunate to have a younger brother by the name of Chad. And then also, we're very fortunate to have a younger sister by the name of Victoria. So really, to sum it all up, the family, we're extremely close. We talk to each other all the time. We're always with each other. And I'm a big proponent of family is everything. And our family atmosphere is so strong. It's gotten to the point now where we're real strong and close with our cousins as well. So to me, it feels like another set of siblings. So I think when it comes to my upbringing, it leads to just kind of who I am as a person. So of course, I can go all day with my family and things like that, but very blessed and fortunate to grow up in the environment that I grew up in.
Thank you, Aaron. I believe that's a great example for our society today, and you are on a great path. You know, you guys doing such a good work from the home. I mean, that's the whole idea of helping others, especially children, right? Especially
yes.
the inner city, the juvenile facilities that you're doing there. Thank you for sharing. And I would assume that with your mobilization, this led you to support schools and prisons and, everywhere while you're traveling, right?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely correct.
Good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your work as what would you say now? A outreach advocate?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, definitely. So really, and you kind of hit the nail on the coffin. You're right on point when you said a lot of it stems from my upbringing and my family. And like I said, with me being very blessed and fortunate to grow up with a strong family that I grew up in, it was able to lead to me becoming a better individual in every aspect of my life because my family was able to help and teach me many different principles and values that will help me as an individual. And one thing that I've noticed growing up around my peers, unfortunately, they didn't have the things that I had. For example, growing up in a two-parent household, as well as from a man's standpoint, some of them not growing up with fathers as well, too. I was very lucky to have a father. Ultimately, I noticed that a lot of my peers didn't have some of those things that I had. So that led to me already kind of brainstorming and just thinking, what is it that is missing? Now, even though I noticed it at a young age, I couldn't put my finger quite on it yet because I was still in the process of figuring that out. But of course, as I got older, once we realized, when people act a certain way, whenever they do certain things or there are certain beliefs and philosophies on a number of things, I realized that a lot of this stems from their upbringing and just some of the things that they were taught, as well as some of the things that they weren't taught. And ultimately that led to me creating that business, the right perspective when it comes to me writing books and doing outreach and doing public speaking events. Because one thing that I realized is that, in life, we're we're good at teaching people how to do like science experiments. We're good at teaching people how to drive a car. We're good at teaching people how to do like operations and stuff like that. But I noticed that when it comes to the basic components or the basic concepts of life, a lot of us don't really know the answers to those things.
That's
and
true.
Over the years, yes, ma'am, definitely. And over the years, I've seen a number of people ask other people about basic concepts of life, like, how do you manage time? But a lot of people didn't know the answer to that because they themselves, they didn't know how to manage time. Or maybe when someone is talking about how to maintain a healthy relationship or how to budget, a lot of people are speechless because they themselves, they don't know how to budget or they don't know how to maintain healthy relationships. So after a while, I realized a lot of people are asking these different types of questions because they just weren't taught anything. And you know how that goes.
That's right.
Yeah, at some point, whenever people are not, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what I'm saying is at the end of the day, relationship is important, right? And you have to first build relationship with others in order to grow. So what you're saying is exactly right. But quickly, Aaron, do you have a actual testimony, or have you ever find it difficult in dealing with juvenile facilities and prisons as a mentor or outreach advocate?
That's a good question. So yes and no. And I will say it's fairly easy making a connection with the kids that are in the juvenile facility because making that strong connection is very helpful. And, kids are very smart. If they see someone who's really trying to help them and they're authentic, then it's easy for them to bring that mentor in to help them out with certain things. So that was never really an issue with me. The main issue was just really maybe perhaps getting other people on board or maybe working with other people, especially when it comes to adults who often when you're working with kids and you start hearing about some of the personal issues that they have with their families or anyone that's in their environment, that's something you got to help them overcome as well. So when it comes to me making that connection, it's not really much of an issue. The major issue that I usually have is just whatever kind of issues that kid is going through and just helping him or her overcome those things.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Aaron. All right, now let's get to the book because we only have a few more time to go.
Okay.
That beautiful book with that lovely chocolate color boy on the cover, Never Doubt Yourself. Can you just tell us about this awesome book?
Oh, yes, ma'am, most definitely. So it's definitely a children's book. And then, of course, really what stemmed from me making this book is that I realized that whenever you're working with kids, there's a lot of young kids that are very gifted, very talented, extremely smart and intelligent. But unfortunately, a lot of them start to doubt themselves whenever they hit a few stumbling blocks in life. And of course, hitting stumbling blocks in life, that's definitely normal for everyone. And I tell kids all the time, you should never doubt yourself, no matter the situation. Now, of course, you don't want to be arrogant about it or look down on others, but you should definitely never doubt yourself, no matter how hard the situation is.
Wow.
I think it's always good for a child to overcome any trials, tribulations, or any level of travail in their life, so that way they can be able to proceed.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I have one confession, Aaron. When I was looking at your work, I was like, I think this man is talking to me. Because I mean, I'm not a child, but at the same time, I could just, sense that this was a positive, title, and it really would reach out to anyone. And I think that you really did a great job in answering this call, in, helping children to get themselves positively motivated, in whatever they're doing. So if persons want to get Never Doubt Yourself, where can they go, and what's the price for this beautiful children book?
Yes, ma'am. So you can definitely get the book at twperspective.com. You can always definitely Google it, because that's my website. And it has a list of many other book collections, but it's definitely on there. And of course, you can get it. I have it right now priced at $6.50, of course, plus the tax. So that's going to end up being around $10 to $11. But it's definitely a good book to invest in. So that way you can be able to read to children, and whoever's reading that book to children, they themselves as the adult can be able to learn those things from this book as well. So it's definitely a good book to get.
Awesome. Now, one thing before you go, Aaron, I want you to just give a advice to our young readers or listeners or anyone that's going through a rough time today. Before you go, just give a few advice for us.
Oh, most definitely. So one thing that I'll say to the audience is that, in life, there's always going to be issues, and some of us you're going to face in life. But I tell people all the time, as long as you're able to create a vision and just see things all the way through, life is definitely going to get a lot better for you. I just tell people all the time, just develop a healthy perspective and always try to look at the positive side for everything that you're doing, even though there's going to be stumble blocks and issues that you'll go through. But stay the course. Continue to have faith and always have confidence in yourself. And I think you'll be just fine.
There you have it, listeners. Mr. Aaron Fields over there in Texas, Dallas, Texas, or author or early childhood consultant or educator, and of course, our speaker. Mr. Fields was with us to share his beautiful book on our platform. You know where to find him, so don't forget to reach out. This is the Lady Tracey Show. Don't go anywhere. More to come after these messages.
Script of Virtue Collections. We sell journals, planners, children and adult books, inspirational books, educational books. Our extra service includes song blogging, music, career counseling, advertisement, promotion, graphic designing, CD covers, book covers. For more information, contact us at 1-876-546-4158 or email us at scriptofvirtuecollections@gmail.com, or you can visit us at facebook.com Script of Virtue Collections.
This song is dedicated to all the fathers out there. If you still have your father, love and cherish him. I lost my father back in July of 2016. It's your girl, Sister Izzy. Father, why'd you have to go away so soon? So soon. Father, why did you have to go so soon? We didn't even get to feed your food on a spoon. The doctor said you could only be on a liquid diet. It hurt us all so bad for your heart's desire. All you wanted was a taste of a mango. The doctor says it's a choking hazard, so that's a no. We had to wait until the Lord decided to call you home, because 'cause they done their best, but they can't do no more. Lord, give me the strength so I can carry on. Thank God you made sure we had a stable home. Years of great memories you left behind. Just wish you were here. I wish you had more time. Father, why'd you have to go away so soon? So soon. Happy Heavenly Father's Day, you did your best. When you were here on earth, you didn't take no mess. You talk trash after trash, but that's okay. To know you is to love you, and there's no other way. You never left us alone to fend for ourselves. You took good care of us like nobody else. How can we repay you? We just don't know how. God took you away, but that's just how it goes. Life is too short, so we don't know our time. Next minute or hour drop out just like a dime. Thanks for all the great memories you left behind. Mama's doing okay, and she miss you too. Father, why'd you have to go away so soon? Father, why'd you have to go away so soon?
To say, but we have to go, we have to go. That was some beautiful, beautiful lineup for you. I'm talking about the lady Megan Hilton, and of course myself. Also had our beautiful authors for you. Don't forget that next week, same time, same place, we will continue in our Charles Mont 2021 workshop. Continue to have yourself a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host for today, Tracey Williams. Walk good now.
Don't wanna be far away. Hey, hey, I wanna be close to you. Jesus, don't wanna be far away. Hey.
Well, like a belt and a buckle, that's how I want to stay. Close to your Lord God each and every day. Living in your presence, I will never go astray. I praise and worship without delay. Yeah, yeah. Lord, I want to wrap myself around you, and I want to tell you that I love you. Cause when I'm in your presence, I can't help myself but to express myself. But I want drop of blood until the devil walk away. Cause I will always praise him in gospel reggae. I got to read my Bible so me not go astray. Cause in your eyes our life is like
I wanna be close to you.
I know you're alone in a journey.
Jesus, don't wanna be far away. Hey, 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 I wanna be close to you.
I've been in the outer court
Jesus,
too long.
don't wanna be far away.
Hey, so listen me.
Hey, hey.
So when me shut me eye and lift me hand in a the place, I saw me one day 19 hustle and in a the place. That can't happen without relationship. That's why me have to be a diligent man in a the race. When all the children I got me as one in a the place. Like the upper room it a go grand in a the place. Me no want no rock figure out, me a play my part. Me no want stick standing on me place. And the solid rock me them me standing at the grace. If God praise a pillar me belong in a the case. Me want Jesus see me so much that him tell him Father every man in this man in a me face.
I wanna be close to you.
Closer than ever.
Jesus, don't wanna be far away.
Every day and every night.
Hey, hey, I wanna be close to you.
I would have never wanted to leave the presence
don't
of
wanna
my
be far away. Hey,
here I go now. Listen, if a relationship me want you again. closer than my mommy and my crew. Sure, and me for leave that me not gonna do. No, and if me leave what me I gonna do? Instead me check and see me really need a closer walk for true. So me let go all the things me said the word me start to prove. In that Ephesians when me go and find a full armor suit, the breastplate of righteousness and gird me line with the truth. Then me drop in me helmet and step in me gospel boot, bringing a better tomorrow for the youth.
I wanna be close to you, Jesus. Don't wanna be far away.
Every day and every night.
Hey, hey, I wanna be close to you.
Oh, hey.
Jesus. Don't wanna be far away.
I just a blessing of the Lord that maketh one rich, you know, and I that no sorrow with it. So if you want to be blessed, the place that you must be is at the feet of the Almighty.
Close to the Lord like a post to the God. Close to the Lord like a post to the God. Close to the Lord like a house to the yard. Why a mouse to the cart, come in source of the Lord.